Granny used to tell me all the time, sparks when faith and preparation combine. The road been right here all this time, but you gotta look with more than your eyes. And the small axe Jesse Ryle representing for I Just Star Mindset, rich forever.
YardSlangz, wait there. Somebody say something about Jamaican patois in a style and fashion. Yes, the Ras. Me a search the other day online and buck up on a new, authentic Jamaican clothing brand. Wagwan are the latest and newest one. In a t-shirt, hoodie, slippers and woman's bag. And a whole heap of other things I may not even mention. Search online for more information. YardSlangz, hit them with a bang. We give thanks. Yeah, we're there upon the mindset program. As I said, we have a special program lineup for the item today. Seeing as the item aware over the last couple of months and years, seeing nothing recent really, is something that probably ongoing in terms of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, which we know as Bobo Hill, out there 10 miles Bull Bay, right? And a lot of things we see happen and we hear, as I say, over the last recent months are here, which some of the things are very disturbing, seeing, and a lot of ones I know that is disgruntled with how things might have turned out and how things is running up to that point, that we hear some of our honorable elders went missing and also murdered. We hear all these things, and at the same time, while we're hearing these things, is like we're unsure about where we really are. Seeing, because this is a Congress, and it doesn't just make up of ones that is there on the island, but it's an international Congress. So you have ones and ones globally. Seeing who the Congress is very dear to them heart, and it come a point now where one can't really sit back anymore and watch and probably chat. It come a point now where real action is required, real practical work is required. Seeing? Because, as I say, we lose a lot over the years. Seeing? By ones and ones who have contributed a lot to the Congress over the years. Seeing? So, it is great today that, we have 3 honorable priests, seeing, of the Upliftment Committee. And I know this committee might be a new thing to some of the item, because it is. So, without no further ado, I'm going to invite the honorable guest, to the platform. It's 3 honorable priests we have on the platform today. We have Honorable Priest Lamont, and we also have Honorable Priest Isaac, and we have Honorable Priest Dougie. Blessed love, my Lord and Lord.
Blessed, give thanks.
Yes, I look at this started in one of their microphones. I don't know which one of them.
How is on you?
Yeah, man. Precise that thing sound distorted. It's him sound loud.
You hear me good?
We are here good still, but your sound distorted.
Bobo. Fiction in the background.
Can't say it is quiet as kept here.
Alright. The voice clear though.
Can't say it is quiet as kept here. Okay, how it sound now?
Yeah, man.
A little better.
Alright. So we can go through.
True.
Okay, how it sound now?
Yeah, but I need to mute something else, dear my lord. There's a feedback coming.
Yeah, but and the thing is now, I can hardly hear you, so I have to keep it close to me because however your technology set up, you sound very, very, very soft.
Oh, my sound.
So I have to keep it close. So even when I talk, I put it far. It's like I put it far to talk here, like I talk now. But if you talk, I know I can't hear you. So I have to come closer now. Now I come in close. I put my ear right. And I have it on speaker, everything.
Saying, probably that's the problem, the speaker thing there.
Okay, let me take it off. The speaker now. Sounding much better?
Yeah, man, that is perfect, my lord.
Oh.
Perfect.
Give that.
Honorable Priest Doggy. Blessed love, my lord. I just want to hear the eye, if the eye sound clear coming through on this side there. Blessed love. All right.
Blessed speaker, you louder? Okay, I think it's.
Yes, I.
Blessed.
Yes, my lord and my lord. Yeah, man, the eye sound perfectly clear. All right, Bobo. The Upliftment Committee is a new committee. Which are the items want to just get we up to speed with the committee and how it's structured and what it's really all about.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. You can go in.
True, give thanks. Well, give thanks again, the brother brother Honorable Prophet Jeff for the invitation again.
My lord.
And of course, just in a nutshell, the Upliftment Committee is basically a gatherings of ones within the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Church of Salvation, which was, of course, established by our worthy founder and leader, the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. As we know, our father is quite known for, depending on the works that needs to be fulfilled. The father is known historically for forming, different committees from time to time, even outside of his parliament, etc., and cabinet, just to get specific works done. So, in keeping in that spirit, there were concerned ones amongst us, and I must say the Honorable Priest Doggy would have been a forerunner in this whole initiative, gathering the concerned ones amongst us, especially as it relates to what you just expressed, brother Prophet Jeff. The introduction you gave there basically kind of covered a lot of it. Our concerns and things that would have bothered us, and we decided that we needed to come together. It's basically for all members of this Congress. It's not like a special group. It's for everyone. But true time is moving, and we can't sit and wait for anybody to come from the sky. We decided that those of us who are concerned and we have the ability and the gifts and the expertise to attack these different ailments that are troubling us, we decided to come together and form the Upliftment Committee. And this is basically one of the first projects in front of us as it relates to taking care of the elders. As you know, we have a creed, which one of the main points of the creed is that the aged be protected, and protected is security, plus their health and their wellness and everything else that comes with it. So this is the campaign we're on, my good brother, and I guess in a nutshell, that's where we are for the moment. Give thanks.
Rastafari. Yes, I. A question. Why? Because we are talk now 2023 from 1958.
Yeah, true.
See? So my question now is, why has it taken us so long to, put this in place now? Because
Well, I think you mean
yeah,
let me jump in there. So I think you mean more like from 1994 when the father died, because between 58 and 94 the general did sit down on the throne and kind of command him and had all strategies in place and all committees functioning. But when the general kind of finish him job, turn it over to him parliament and him committee and make him trod, a lot of I and I, we didn't finish the class, we never graduate. So this part of the lesson kind of was murky for a lot of ones, It took us a moment to kind of clear the fog. Like the man said, we know each other better when the mist have rolled away. Well, the mist have rolled away. As long as it has taken us to kind of, help move that mist, well, it has gone, and I are seeing clearly, as another songwriter said, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Well, and I seen clearly at this time where we are seeing the paths that need to be taken. And I come together as like minds, like the priest said earlier, with the skill sets and the wherewithal to move and shake some things that need to be moved and shake. So, it has taken us a moment, but we are here, and we are here on the job, and we are looking for the support of the wider family members, the global family members, because it takes the entire family, to be a family. And if we are a family, the security of the family, resides on all of us. So we are calling out to all the family members, to step forward and do their part at this time. With what is needed. Yeah, I'll turn it over to the next priest in line.
Honorable Priest Lamont.
Oh, bless the Lord, Majesty.
My Lord.
Give thanks, my Lord, for this, opportunity, even just to reason about the Upliftment Committee, and I will probably just start. Give thanks for, the man calling I. The Upliftment Committee is out of the concern for, upward mobility. And because we realize that it's not easy all the time to get everyone in a group, especially a large group or a large family. It's some of the time takes those that are movers and shakers to get things going so that others can see and join and let it be more, magnificent and complete. So the Upliftment Committee, as it has been said before, is that group of brethren, this group of brethren, or those brethren that have realize that like minds can do things, especially with respect, and understanding for each other, and if you have that tolerance to listen and to reason. So, because we just want to do more than talking, we have put ourselves in a group, as we say, because that we think that there are those among us that have the ability to do things and to make things happen, so that the family can benefit, the wider family can benefit, So that is why we are here, and we are saying to others of like mind to be interested in what we are doing, and just to give it their best effort to make sure that it works. My Lord.
Majesty, yes I give thanks for the clearance, my Lord. Yes I. So there's a mission statement, right?
Natural.
Yes I. All right.
Oh, you're good? Okay. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna read a little bit of the mission statement. See?
Yeah.
Is all right. Is there no Balaam in Gilead?
No. Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? Then why is the hurt of my people not healed?
Jeremiah 8, verse 22. The Ethiopia Africa Black
But before you go on, my lord, I just want to clarify that even that statement right there. You know, yeah, the father asking his house, you know, how come him house in disarray? Is there no one there that has the solution for the problem? Is not that solution among I and I did need teach I and I how to solve our problems? Then why are the problems lingering and not solved? You know, so that question is asked, and I will answer it now as the I read on. Give thanks.
My Lord, give thanks. All right. To be continued. The Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Upliftment Committee has taken on a venture which is long overdue. The establishment of a health center to address the health concern of the members of the Congress. The committee is planning to construct a building on the premises at 10 miles Bull Bay in St. Andrew, Jamaica. The building is to ratified with the basic essential equipment and staff to maintain the healthcare program. The facility, the construction of the healthcare center, a GoFundMe fundraiser was recently launched to help raise the money needed.
Real.
All right, so there's a GoFundMe that is set up. See, what is being asked, my lord? In terms of monetary wise.
Yes. Really give thanks. Yes, well, actually, give thanks to as I said, the mission state. So the me clarify that. What was established approximately
technology at fault.
Yeah.
You know, well they done.
Yeah, break up. You're breaking up, Bobo.
You're not being heard, preciser. You're not being heard. You're not being heard, my brother.
Well, I'm not being heard. I know how that go.
Speak now.
How are you going now?
Yeah, man.
Yes, sound good.
Sound better.
All right, good. Very good. Now, as I say now, yeah, so the GoFundMe was established approximately a month ago, and the GoFundMe was established specifically, as brother just said, to raise funds for our care center. Yes, or initially it's really program, and I think everyone by now is picking up the concerns that we do have. We have brothers right that have been underground from the get-go, specifically the Honorable Priest Doug and the Honorable Lamont and some people who have made sure that on a week, almost on a daily level, the foundation, the elders around foundation to make their
breaking up again.
Okay.
In and out. Not hearing any clear sentence.
In and out.
I can't tell you exactly what happening. I don't know why.
And you see, when you start to talk, everything come back normal. And as soon as you start to speak, it come back normal again.
Let me just get up and... All right, how is sounding here?
Good.
All right, so again, just to make the family know, again, the GoFundMe specifically was established to assist the whole project. As I said, we have elders amongst us, the Honorable Priest Dougie, the Honorable Priest Lamont, who would have been on a weekly level, almost on a daily level in some cases, visiting our elders on the camp, visiting the elders around the camp to make sure that they get their sustenance, their nutrients, and even their health care. So now the GoFundMe, as I said before, I do not have the link off my head, but I know the Honorable Priest Dougie could fulfill that. The GoFundMe was established now for, other ones of the Congress who may not even know the mission that we're on, although all of this is promotion of it, and for them to assist, as the priest would say, give their 1/10 to assist this project that we are on. We have a goal of $25,000. Of course, that's how GoFundMes are set up. You have the goal and your target, and you're trying your best to reach the target. And this is why on this Sunday now, we're having a grand telethon, which we have dubbed a webathon. And of course, so we can climax the effort for not only members of the Congress, but for good-hearted people and other members of the Rastafari community, conscious community, and again, just good-hearted people who understand our situation, understand our plight, for them to contribute. Now, they don't have to wait until Sunday to contribute. They can contribute right now. I don't know if the link could even get to the Honorable Prophet and it go inside of your chat.
The chat room. Yeah,
everyone could contribute.
Yeah. I don't have the link still. But...
Yeah, the link kind of too.
Yeah, you see, from you go on the net, my lord. From you go on the net and you go to the GoFundMe site and you type in EABIC housing project. Before you even finish typing housing project, from you type in EABIC, it's gonna pop right up before you, and you're gonna see the EABIC housing project with a picture of the camp showing. You just follow the instruction, go into the link, follow the instruction, and it will guide you to a tag says donation. When you see the donation, you tap on donation and it opens up, and you can now contribute in whatever method that you wish to, we also have, you can also use your Cash App or PayPal. Those links are on different flyers and things we have been circulating, but we will also share that before we end the program, so everyone can get their pencil and paper ready to write up the links, which will be coming up in shortly.
Rastafari, yes, my lord.
But again, to get a little history, let us get a little history of this whole healthcare issue, because I've been asked by several ones if it's just for a select group of ones. Now, even though I am a Bobo Ashanti, I work in the care giving department. I work with a set of doctors in the healthcare field, both in Florida and in Jamaica here. A couple years ago, I was asked by Ras Firstman of the indigenous village here in Montego Bay. We were talking about healthcare, being in the medical marijuana field, and I'm in the field of research in that area. We were speaking, and he asked if, since I'm in that field, if I could not help to construct a program, a general health program to encompass the Rastafari movement, all of the Rastafari elders, because it doesn't matter what mansion you're from right now, we are facing the same predicament. We were isolated from society, so we are not covered by their umbrella. We don't have no funds for their conventional health services and all of that. So we have to be looking, how to deal with this. Normally, we practice preventative medicine, which is knowing our herbs and our roots and so forth, and knowing how to use them, how to apply them to our health concerns. But with modernity has come modern illnesses or illnesses that have mutated. Case in point or an example is the pandemic. SARS been around for a long time, but this one was tampered with or mutated or whatever, but it's a different strain of SARS that got out of control and created havoc. Modernity again in play, whether they're messing with it in the lab, whether it is coming in contact with other elements that is causing it to mutate, that is happening in our way of life. Many diseases are reoccurring with different strains and different effects. So because of that, I and I elders are facing health concerns and lacking the finances or the access to good health care. See, they are succumbing to some illnesses that almost all modern people have conquered or have under control. So because of that, we were reasoning, and the Virgin posed that question to us. I now went to the doctors and asked them for their assistance. So Dr. Anthony Hall, along with Dr. Julius Garvey, which is the Honorable Prophet Marcus Garvey's son, along with Dr. Hall's wife, Dr. Bronte, and other doctors that work with us, sat down and we designed a healthcare program in detail to encompass the entire movement. Now, what we are doing here, starting with the Bobo Ashanti house, because we are members of that house and our elders are facing some grave moments right now. We have come together and decided to use ourselves, our house, as the test case, launching a healthcare program, starting with our house, putting everything in place. We hope to put everything in place that is needed to run a facility and to offer some level of care. I won't say we will be able to offer 5-star care, but we will try to offer the best care possible that is in our control. And we intend, when we get it on a level and get it right, to extend to different regions. First in the diaspora, and like they say, the sky is the limit after that. As long as it is functional and we get it to a press button standard, then we'll be able to duplicate it wherever it is needed. So that is how the gist of this has really come into play, and that is the scope of what we would hope to do in the future. God bless.
Rastafari.
Yeah, man, beautiful. You hearing me good?
Yeah, man, loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, true. I just want to give thanks, sorry, honorable host. Just want to give thanks to the honorable priest Dougie with that explanation, Even I myself sitting and listening to it is like I get a better clarity to, I tell you the truth. What it does, it makes the audience understand that, the professionalism of the mission that we're on. As the honorable said, this is a whole program that has been orchestrated by professionals, even though the very own prophet's son is a part of it. And now, like many things we would have sat down around the table and put together. Unlike, I should say, many things we would have sat down around the table and put together. We're not just putting this one in the briefcase and putting this one in the drawer. Because we have a custom of doing that. Put up some nice plans, nice paper, nice draft, and then we just put it away in the briefcase. But this one is now put on the table, and is now being, brought to life. So we give thanks for the foundation work, Honorable Priest Dougie, which has brought us to this point. Yeah, man. Blessed love.
Rastafari.
Yes, Prophet.
Yes, my lord. This are the question I want to ask you now. And I seems to be going off the topic, but why should people want to contribute to this thing? Why I'm asking that now is because I've seen where I've seen people in the public space. It would have appeared that people have lost confidence within Rastafari, within the movement as a whole, not just Bobo Shanti only, but and a general. It's like there's no credibility.
I can jump in on that, but I will give the Honorable Priest Lamont the floor to address that, because I know that is part of his pet peeve. So Honorable Priest Lamont, if you want to take that, at least start it off, because I know Iron Priest Isaac want a piece of it as well.
All right, blessed love my Lord, give thanks. All right, the Honorable Prophet is asking, why should people want to support something like that, and what's their point of interest? Yes. Being that so many things have happened within the Rastafari and among Rastafari that I am, he said people yes, But when you look at what we are doing, it's we are dealing with an inevitable in life that will face all living persons whilst you are blessed enough to live to that golden age. And it is really setting a precedent that this is a matter that concerns all persons, whether you are Rastafari or not. But being that it's being initiated by us Rastafari and specifically Bobo Ashanti, we are saying to people that there is no situation or system or group or people that don't have ups and downs. And the ups and downs, in many instances, they don't negate the reality of things that are to be done or things that exist. And the fact that getting to elder age is an inevitable. It means that we have to now be cognizant of the things that are to be done to make growing old not a regret. Because when we look at how our youngsters are operating, it's like growing old is not a desired thing. Maybe because the way they see elders are treated and so forth and so forth. So we are saying, let us step up the game and put our elders in comfortable and good living and good treatment, and let them fuljoy the best that they can be provided for them, which is really for us, because what we do now for them is actually laying or spreading the bed for ourselves and even our children. So I'm saying to ones, first of all to Bobo Ashanti, then to the wider Rastafari community, and then to every good-hearted person, around the world that comes into contact with this GoFundMe situation and preparing a health center and a health care system for our elders, to give it a fair chance, because it's being guided and governed by people that are serious, people that have managed to eke out some kind of sustainable pathway for, first of all, their own lives, and then now trying to do something now, extending it to the wider community. So we just ask people just to see it as an inevitable that maybe we have ignored for too long, and let us not look at the bads, because they are truly not more than the goods. You know, my father always say that, you know, there's a way in human nature that, you know, one simple thing can serve to negate a whole bunch of good things. He said, for instance, if you have a white handkerchief and it gets a little soil spot on it, some people would throw it away just for the one little soil spot, not regarding the whole surrounding of nice, clean spots that remain without any soil. So let us not look at just the soil spot, but then look at the wild, clean areas, you know, around it, and do all we can for this health care development that we have taken on.
Rastafari.
My Lord.
Majesty.
Rastafari.
Yes, I know,
Yes, well, as far as give thanks, blessed love. So as far as Honorable Prophet Jeff, you know, the wider community, well, if I'm to play into that one there, well, from my point of view, my perspective, well, I know that I don't see a lot of things happening in the Rasta world that maybe even might escape I, for sure. So maybe a lot of things that people are shunning away from, maybe I would have missed. You know, sometimes it doesn't know as you always think you are. But how I'm looking at it though, is that I know for sure Rastafari would have been going through a new sort of wave of tribulation in them times here. And, you know, you just come to me like, you know, sometimes you reflect on the scriptures, as the scripture started the mission statement, where the Father says, I was sick and you never came and visited me. Yeah, well, that was a phrase to kind of spark the energy. But I'm saying there are other scriptures now, like when the Father said, I was in prison and you never visited me, and I was in the hospital and you never came, and the person would have said, but when were you sick? And I never visited you. When were you arrested? I can't remember that. But he said, yeah, man, the least amongst my own, the least you do to the littlest amongst I and I is what you have done to me as well.
You do it twice.
You know? Yeah, and is the situation that we are in at this moment. That's why a lot of ones, you know, looked at him when he was on the cross and said, well, come, the man, save yourself, the man. You're the big man. You have all the power. And to a degree, ones do look at Rastafari like that too, you know, because ones expect a lot of great things from us. I can say that. The world expect a lot of great things from Rastafari. In fact, there are those who actually see Rastafari in a light that we ourselves have not even reached to. And I'm very serious. They know that we have that power and that ability within ourselves to really excel. Now, amongst Bobo Shanti, let me just start there. This sort of project here, I believe we are the ones should really step up to the plate as an example and just out of our internal compassion for our house. We should step up to this plate in a way that has never been seen before. We should make sure that we reach the target of the 25,000 and begin the establishment of our healthcare center. The Rastafari community in general now, you know, to some degree, Rastafari is not as gummy and as knitted like when I held on to this faith. And I don't mean just Bobo, I mean Rasta in general. It is like something that you throw on the water and it starts to dissipate and it just drifting away from its original source. So there's not that unity and this love and this oneness. Yes, we may have Zoom conferences every now and again on different platforms, but that is not even nearly compared to the oneness I felt of Rastafari when I was younger in the faith. So even things like exercises like this is to help to kind of revive that compassion amongst ourselves, to revive that oneness amongst ourselves, because this is what it's all about. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but when people sick and things worse than that happen, families just come together, you understand, in cases of tragedy. It's not that we're looking at any tragedy here, because this is what we're trying to prevent. We as Bobo Shanti, we have had some tragedies in the last couple of years. I think everyone knows of these things here. So we can see that there is a plight, a plague that is amongst us, and we are trying our best to alleviate it. The violence as well, even in Yard, has reached to the point that has affected the security, the livelihood, and eventually even the health, because that's a part of it. To be honest, some of our elders, they don't have that family brotherhood and sisterhood coming and even looking for them. Maybe ones would like to go and don't even want to go into the area. So to be honest, even while we're building our health center, we have already made plans to assist some of our most vulnerable elders to get them to a more safer environment. All of that is in the plan, to get them to a more safer environment so they can get the required care that they need in the right environment, the right people, the right food, and all of these different things until we would have established the healthcare center itself. So I'm just putting this out to all one's family, Rastafari, those who are not Rastafari, and those who are not Rastafari, enough of them is Rastafari. There's enough people that not saying Rastafari. If you ask them, they'll tell you, yeah, man, you don't know me a Rast from a long time. The mind you see me had a locks, because everyone know Rasta is something natural within them. Even if they say them is Christians and something else, they will tell you. They hardly deny. Unless they're really dogmatic and they're strongly religious, they would hardly deny that, yeah, man, I'm Rasta too, man. No mind you see the locks. So that means somewhere inside of them, they understand, the nature of God. And for I who's Rasta, Farai, I'm asking you to put forward your hand, family, to assist this project, even if it's with the little bit that you have. Trust me, a little bit goes a long way when we all come together and put it in the basket. Rastafari.
Honorable.
My Lord, well said, Honorable Priest. Well, Fireball said. Yes, sir. Honorable Host, can I touch it now?
Yes, I got through, my Lord.
Yes, my lord. Yeah, man. Well said by the priest, man. I mean, I might be repetitive because he kind of touched every key aspect to this thing. I will add to it this. We are a house of priests, our listeners, near and far. We are a house of priests. The priest's office is a service office. We are servants. We are the Lord's servants. And as such, we minister to the spiritual and temporal needs of our people. Here is a temporal need. Now, our father was a priest, but he was a healer as well. And that kind of go hand in hand, from ancient time. The priest was also the herbalist or the barnyard specialist, or you understand, the acupuncturist, in most indigenous livities. Seeing? So that role naturally fall to I and I, to be healers. We come to minister the good word to heal the spirit, and then as knowledgeable ones, knowing, naturopathy, as a practice, we are able to use herbs and, the roots and other natural methods to bring about healing. So it come natural for the house of Bobo Ashanti to be launching one of the first, standard healthcare, programs within the Rastafari faith to date. We have been blessed to be able to survive off the land for a period of time, but now we have elders that have reached that certain age that no matter how miraculous we are and how, healthy we eat and all of that, natural wear and tear occurs. and that needs servicing. And you can't get away from it. And it affects every one of I and I in all ethnicities. This one I don't partial to color or wealth or politics or anything like that. See? So as the priest said, it's an inevitable. So what we are attempting to do now is to build an institution to service that inevitable, to put a mechanism in place, not a band-aid over the wound or, just a one-day solution, but build an institution of healing and health that we, as the priest say, when I and I time come, will be able to achieve or benefit from it, and the generations to come. They can build on it and build it out in a greater potential, because we know that technology is not stopping here. I don't see the limit to technology right now with this AI, introduction into the world, and 5G, you soon hear about 6G and 7G and whatever, So I am saying this, what we are putting in place is the mechanism, and it will be able to be duplicated wherever it is needed within the African diaspora. Because I and I, Bobo, Ashanti, and Rastafari, we are not here to minister to ourselves. We are here to service our nation, to finish the work that was started by our ancestors. People like the Honorable Prophet Marcus Mosiah Garvey with his nation building back to Africa move, People like the Emperor Haile Selassie I, we're trying to establish the law, an ordinance that governs I and I. People like King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, who has established an order that helps us to purify and to cleanse ourselves, and to build that brotherhood amongst ourselves and sisterhood, because that is what he came and he taught us. You understand? That brotherhood and sisterhood, we are each other's keeper. See? So that is what we are fulfilling on this mission, establishing a health center, that we can care for one another, because we have lacked that. Every other nation has gone through some form of systematic healing process. The African been taught to pull up themselves by their bootstraps. So we are doing that today, but we need the assistance of our brothers and sisters. Put a little 10 cent over here and a little 10 cent over there and throw it in another pot. See, you will benefit. If not you, yours will, because like we say, it's an institution and it will be open to the world of Black people, from Cape to Cairo, from the Caribbean to the coast of the continent of Africa. Yes, all right.
My Lord. Yes, I. Rastafari. Yes, Honorable Priest. So, me still
in the house, so let's show the question them, show the questions them, my lord. You have us here, so make use of our presence.
My Lord, yes, sir. Give thanks. See, cause the reason why.
If you want me, just remind. If you just want me, remind the public again that the telethon is this Sunday. So heavy pipes there, boy. Yeah, the telethon, whoever that one is. The telethon is this Sunday, family. This Sunday, which is the 21st day of May. It's a nice 4-hour program that we have put together. So we just want everyone to kind of, get their clothes iron and, their suit and everything in order for that day. It's going to be a Zoom event anyway. I just kind of make it a little spectacular. But the point is, it's such a grand event that we'll be having, that we are inviting everyone to put themselves in order. As I said, it's going to be a Zoom event, but it will, for now, we'll be streaming through my personal YouTube channel, which is Priest Isaac's YouTube channel. I'm sure a good amount of your, listeners, followers may know of how to reach there. And we'll also be streaming it through Radio Anu, which is very easy to find. All you have to do is Google that and you'll get the link, Radio Anu. It is on INI website as well. But the Zoom link now, as I said, is a Zoom event. So ones could come in via the Zoom. I can't just give you the Zoom link off my head, but Honorable Priest.
Yeah, man, I will drop it in the chat room in a moment.
Yes, please do that. The Zoom link, and we have other platforms you could find that, because we have some Facebook pages, and almost everyone that is affiliated with Bobo Shanti will be putting up the flyers and the Zoom link, so it just would be around for ones to get. And ones could visit even the platform I just mentioned, my YouTube channel, and search out the latest videos. In the description, you have the Zoom link, or just link any one of us and you get the Zoom link itself for Sunday. But if somehow you miss that, you could still view it on the live stream. It will be starting 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That should be, I think that's 1 o'clock Jamaican time if you want to align the time. And it will be a wonderful event. We have some special guest speakers. We have individuals from the entertainment world which have already confirmed that they will be there. Brother Luciano, if I'm not mistaken, we have Brother Junior Reed should be will be giving a word. Brother Doggy, from the Virgin Islands, we have Ras Attitude should be in the house. And Brother Ras Batch, them is international stars. These are brothers I know personally as well. And a few other ones will be coming through. So it's not no sleepy event we have in a brethren. It's a good event. The brothers coming in and the sisters will be coming in to give a word of encouragement to I, to contribute to I own self. Imagine that. But they will be also encouraging the international community to come in as well and let us, share loves amongst the elders. So yes, it's Sunday, 21st of May, 2 p.m. That's when it kick off. Yes, my Lord.
My Lord.
And as the program go through, we can give some more information.
Yes, yeah, man. So I see someone drop in the chat room just now. How them can donate. Well, I've dropped the GoFundMe link in the chat room. It's tagged at the top of the chat room, so ones can press the link and donate from there. All right, Honorable. The security at the camp. That is something that I've kind of been on a lot of people mind. I see something went out on the social platform recently that Bobo Hill is no longer safe. How do I them react to that?
I think Priest Lamont is a perfect man for that one. Yeah.
Honorable, let me say this, and not in any aim to laud crime and violence, but crime and violence is almost everywhere in a high escalated manner at this particular time
it's true.
In history.
In the world.
Yes, and so we are seeing our share of it. It is quite alarming because of the nature of operation that is within our community, being a place, a house of priests and prophets and empresses, a righteous order place. So of course it is more alarming when you hear of these kind of crime and happenings in a place like that. But it is not as if it's a no-go, no-show place. It's just a place that requires caution, as going downtown Kingston or going out in your yard requires caution right now. So Bobo Hill is a place that will always be there, and like everywhere else, it flares up and it calms down. And there is a calm right now after the storm. So it's not to be taken in a blanket way, in a general way, as if, you know, it's such a terrible place that, you know, you can't go there. Caution and security observation must be made everywhere right now. That's the most. So I am saying to ones, come to Bobo Hill, fuljoy the salvation of King Emmanuel. At the same time, be cautious. There are times when people are coming to Bobo Hill and they stop at the police station and say, we wish to go up to see the foundation of King Emmanuel. Can we have some escort? And sometimes schools or the university would call us and say they would like to come, and you know, and that the students can get a first-hand, you know, understanding of it. And we ourselves would make a request from the police to guide them, or they themselves too. Sometimes it's a two-way thing. They make their request and we do that too, to make sure that people are safe, you know. So that is basically it. But it's there, and we are there, and we are going to continue.
My Lord, Rastafari. So, all right, I know there's a narrative within Rastafari now that is like, why should we depend on the security of Babylon then? Because that is how people term the police force anywhere. Rastaman, a Rasta woman. Why should we depend on their security for us? Why should we depend on them?
Honorable Prophet, I understand. Remember that when you look at, first of all, we don't make guns and bombs, and we are not a people that carry weapons. If you notice that, apart from the Bobo Ashanti broom utensils, like your knife and your machete, we don't carry weapons. When you come to the Bobo camp, you have to leave all weapons. No weapons under the arch. You have to leave your weapons. No fire, no weapon under the arch. We sing a song, say, Ethiopia study war no more, you know, and we'll be watching Babylon running red, walking in their own blood. So we were never a people that preach violence. And we have our guard. We have royal guard. We have palace guard. But to put up a resistance against artillery like we see flaunting around amongst criminals right now, far more expensive toys than their what you call earning would seem to give them. So, you know, we are not a people that indulge in that kind of guns and bomb security.
And my lord,
we see now that there could be a necessity now, because things change and time has changed. So what we see happening, this is one of the things that are the ministry that we are going to have to be looking into. How we're going to step up and reshape our security system. But at the present time, I wouldn't say we are in the position. So we have to call on the security of the land, which is really, you know, the general security for all that exist in the land.
Yeah.
So we have to
let me add to that, my lord. Because the question, you pose a direct question. Why should we depend upon Babylon, the police force of Jamaica, or any island that we find ourselves, or any country? All right. First of all, let's talk about Jamaica. Why we would approach the Babylon? Because it's their henchman them that is doing what they're doing, you know. Rasta is not terrorizing their neighborhood. You know, conscious people not terrorizing them neighborhood. Good people not terrorizing their neighborhood. Okay? And those toys, like the priest said, those very expensive toys that these brethren have, sometimes worth more than the house and everything that they own in life. They can't afford it. Where are they getting it from? It's their same, their MPs and their politicians that is equipping them. And now maybe it has gone beyond that now to where they have, running their own little pipeline of drugs and thing and able to facilitate themselves as well, because, you show them a thing and now them learn the game. But they still are controlled by the politician that run the area them. So, and the police is also controlled by those politicians, Minister of Security, Minister of this and Minister of that. So we are calling upon them to control them own people, them own, constituents and them own henchmen them. And as the priest said, I and I is a monastery. We are there to enhance our spirituality, to build ourselves as a spiritual people, as a conscious people. We are not there to study war. That's why we did leave out a road, because enough of I and I had a pass, Some of us came from the streets and all of that, and King Emmanuel saved us by calling us to him. So we leave the studying of war out on the street and came to the monastery to study how to save our soul alive, how to be righteous people, how to walk in the path of light and truth. And guns and bombs and violence don't have any place in that way. So we have never embraced that path. But we are not cowards, we are lions. We will face the enemy without fear, without weapon, knowing that we are victorious because good will ever overcome evil. So no matter what we see going on right now, watch the end result. The proof is in the end result. Yeah, it's done.
Majesty, yes I.
True.
So the wall, I hear the eye talking about the fencing and the wall. I guess the fencing and the concrete wall would be a part of the security.
Yeah, to the east side of the camp, we need a wall, because to the other side, to the west or the southwest side, that kind of have a mountain drop off type of thing that is easily secured, or easier to secure. There's no walk path there. But to the east, looking into St. Thomas, that side of the camp needs a strong enforcement to just eliminate the access from that side to the camp. And as a matter of fact, that side is kind of one of the area that is was mostly inhabited by the female population of the camp. So, that side directly needs to be secure properly.
Rastafari. So why I was mentioning now the security and the accountability of Babylon, and why, if we can depend upon them or we can't depend upon them. Zine is, we have seen where the Honorable Empress Sharon has lost her life last year, and also the Honorable Priest Edley has gone missing, and up to now we don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. See? And it is not for us to really say, boy, we're going to take the law into our hand and start to investigate and so on. It's now in the hands of the same ones, the police them, who would classify as Babylon then. Seeing it's in their hands. We don't see any urgency from them dealing with this or these particular case or issues, where we see other things that take the spotlight and get dealt with quick and fast. And it's the same Babylon system that is handling these cases and issue. And, they're not putting any urgency where it concerns the Rastafari community who have contributed so much to the island of Jamaica, and not just the island, but the entire world. So, why should we really put any confidence and trust into these people?
But if I could come in here, I get the point, Honorable. I know that as a good journalist, kind of mirroring maybe what a lot of ones are saying.
Right, my lord.
But I must say, you see, yeah, of course, but you see them things here is a lot of strategy, logistic, and to some degree, a certain level of diplomacy going on here. Now, again, that is why sometimes, the brotherhood and the sisterhood, especially of I, the concerned ones, I don't mean the upliftment committee, I mean ones who are concerned with life and consciousness in general. That's why we have study groups. That's why we have classes. That's why we have teachers and listeners, so we can understand and comprehend how we're supposed to slide through the world as such. Now, King Emmanuel is a man that deals with everyone. I think we know that for sure. He's not a man that set himself, and we dealing with his example. I have the Black Supremacy right in front of me looking at it. He's not a man that lean in and quote unquote Babylon for them help. But every day the man get up, he writing a letter to the same Babylon. It may not be Officer 362, It may be President this or Prime Minister that, but it's the same people. It's not nothing different. They have different levels of their government, the judicial system, the law enforcement aspect of it, and the other aspect. I think it's 3 arms that government have. You see the king right into, the monarchy of Britain. All of them things is Babylon again, because the police and so around here, they call them His Majesty. Well, they were Her Majesty's Royal Police Force, but now they're His Majesty's Royal Police Force. We all know that King Emmanuel stepped into the office of the Brigadier General up at Up Park Camp. And when the story said the man ran out, according to King Emmanuel, and this is what I read, he said he's the head of the British Army. That's what he said. He are the head of the British Army. You know what I mean? So when the army come to surround Bobo Hill to protect it, it's just nature and just the mystics of God working through the earth, But still, on another level, I think realistically we know the kind of world we're living in, and Rastafari would have been at loggerheads for decades with the police force. And again, the police force is just the pawns on the chessboard of the bigger ones. You understand? The Bustamante and the Donald Sangster and the Elizabeths and them. The police force are our brothers and sisters as well. This is why now, in this modern time, off the record, every one of I that is Rasta know, especially in this time, you have police that you can deal with. You understand? This is not the time when we all know how much, I'm going to say it straight, how much of the police them burn herb. Them man come to you for the herb. Be a face as well too. I know society the INM but the society that is evolving around is a different society come to faster than when I was to Rastafari. You understand? So the time is slightly different now. And a lot of people are coming more humane. Even those within the so-called forces, police, army, this may sound strange, but even in this, wherever, they have conscious people in some of these environments, that would look out for you. Yeah, they may not go in there for that, but they will look out for you. And I know some of them. I don't know if you hear them, know them, but they have people inside of these organizations that will come and say, hey, Ras, so and so going on. Make sure you take it. hear that. Yeah, straight up. So it have a lot to do with it have a lot to do with understanding as we are going through the world. Everybody know who Babylon is, but yet still our Father write the same Babylon and demand freedom, redemption, and international repatriation. He demanded for the same Babylon, and he make them know clearly, hey, look, if you do this, it's all right, you know, because even if it happened by man's hand, earthquake, lightning, and thunder, it's going to happen. But the process of diplomacy, so you can't say the Father hire the Father lawyers to make sure. Some of the lawyers, them even diss the Father. The Father have to write pamphlets. I read myself and how this lawyer, you know what I mean, didn't carry the case where it's supposed to go. All of them things is Babylon. So it's a lot of understanding as we're going through this process. These religious visions. I don't want to diss nobody, but sometimes it's our dogmatic religious outlook that make us say, oh, we don't want a Babylon and this and that. We don't want a police and this and that. And I understand the sentiments, but we have to be realistic in how we are stepping forward, even at this critical time. Let me just say one thing about the gun. I don't want to say too much, but as was around King Emmanuel, tell me, straight up, before the Father, two things that here the Father never deal with. Even passport, King Emmanuel never deal with. Passport and gun. And there are elders that I could call their name, but I'm not going to call it unless it's necessary. That say, for the Father move, two things that draffer. And he asked a specific priest to go and pick up online. And I'm going to leave it at that.
My lord, yeah.
If I just wanted...
I know the elders them can, of course.
Just to say something right there. And just to... pose a question, you know, not particularly to Honorable Star, but just to pose this question. You know, people say why we rely on the Babylon security. But when you look at it, as Priest Dougie alluded to that these are not our people. If they were Rastafari, we would know how to control it. But we have to call on their masters to deal with them. And then again, if we were to be people to deal with guns and bombs, you know, we would we could take care of certain situations. But you know, in the time when those things happened in the recent months, we reasoned that, you know, a lot of things. But you know what someone say? You know, if we take it in our own hands. No care what happens, you're going to hear some people say, we take the law in our hand.
Yeah, now go good.
You see? So it's not that we can't do things that, you know, we are coward or we are weak. But because we know that we are easy to be lambasted and to be victimized just because of who we are. Many of the times, even in our rights and in our justice, when we deal with it, there are still those elements that are going to give us the wrong. And they will try to find something wrong about the right that we do. So I have to be very careful, you know, what we do. And so we are saying to the system, control your dogs, keep them on a leash, or something like that. Because they are your people. That's the bottom line. They are those people that are terrorizing Bobo Ashanti. They are not Bobo Ashanti. So you can't ask Bobo Ashanti to put them under control without coming into some kind of interface with the Babylon law system. And it's what I'm saying. Because if we take it in our hands, there can still be backlashes, especially against us. Maybe some other people, you know. Let me tell you something, I just said. If you look at the other river we call Sandy Gully in Jamaica, and it's concreted sides and the bed of that river, all the way from uptown down to the seaside. A well-reinforced waterway. And when you look at some other places that are being ripped to pieces by water getting out of control and rivers overflowing their banks, and nothing is done to those places because those rivers exist in certain area. Unlike Sandy Gully that is passing through quote-unquote elite area and it's fixed. And it's a similar thing with the crime, especially in this country, because we are who we are and we are not the apple of the eye of the system. And so we are not going to be given any form of preferential treatment because we are being denied even of some of our ordinary rights. So to some people it may even be a good thing to see what's happening to us, because they may just say like, oh, them did say about the Christ and the cross, why you not come down, you know God. So they may say, why you not just chant on fire and kill them, you know. So not pray.
Now I jump in there so too, because right there so I have heard that said by Lord. Don't just to say right there so with the priest, right there so.
Exactly.
I was in a gathering. I was in a gathering, and when the news of what is happening at Bobo was being spoken about, one of the person in the gathering said, but no them say them have them God up there, and no them say them and did this. So them not supposed to can just save themselves. How come them are dead now? See, yeah, sentiment like that, you know, those are expressions of self-hate, you know, not looking at the circumstance and the understanding. But really and truly, what I want to really input into that, into this piece of the conversation, continuing on the changing times that Priest Isaac alluded to. I will just give you a little example. I was sitting yesterday at the Ital store, Country Farm in Kingston.
Yesterday example.
Yes, and I'm sitting there with the owner, with Rasaimo, and we were reasoning of something like a reasoning now, you know, of our future approach to everything, politics, everything, and we are reasoning and while sitting there, set of soldier pass. He caught me off guard, healed me up with such respect, put all them hand on them heart, that they caught me off guard because I wasn't even looking to heal them. But the way them joked me up, had me scrambling to return the heal. So we continue to reason. Then when we look, it's a set of police coming in, and it's the same thing. Heal up us and heal up I and I have to heal them up same way. After that, no longer sitting there. It's a set of firemen coming in. And the fireman, them heal you up again, here. You know, the waterman, but them call fireman, you know. But, them coming in. So I am showing the item, the changing of times. Those are the type of people that used to pass us straight and see us as a problem. The kind of respect that them and I up with yesterday, the police, the soldier, you wouldn't believe it. And the amount of soldiers that pass by for the time that I sit down there, because Upper Camp is not far away. And I didn't realize that so many of them conscious, them come eat them conscious food. And when I look for them, I'll go in at the gift store and I look for culture. That the Ras said to me, so you see that one? Every day I'm coming there and I'm looking for something, you know, where I'm like him, you know, and then him come back on Friday, come buy there, you know. See, and so we're there, they observe all of this. This is the changing of times, my brothers. See, so no longer are we the enemy to our brothers. We can speak with our brothers like brothers. When police pull I down in Jamaica, I don't worry about getting ticket, you know. It might have to be a cranny crumb. You understand? Because I go and come out and I go and reason with him as my brethren. And it has worked many a time. Not to say I am absconding the law or anything like that, you know. It's minor offenses I'm talking about. See? And back in the day, no matter how minor the offense was, the way they dealt with us was so harsh. And Rasta boy and all those things that they used to call I and I. No, I am hearing sir and Mr. So the times has truly changed. So we have to start stepping up with that change and meeting that change halfway as well. And come out of that dogma, change the rhetoric. See, before the father transition, him used to have a Wednesday meeting, a Wednesday reasoning. And, as they them know, I used to have a printing room, that I print, I pamphlet them every week and send out on the street and give away, educating the people. But the pamphlet that goes out for Wednesday is an invitation pamphlet inviting the police, the soldier, the politician, the comb head, the bald head, no matter who you are as an African, you're free to come reason about Africa if you love Africa, and if you see the consciousness of embracing your Africanness. The father set that platform and invited ones, an open invitation then to the society of Jamaica. Seeing anyone who feel am I. Seeing, showing you where the father's mindset was and what the Congress is about. Yes, family.
Majesty, Honorable. Yeah, man. Give thanks,
Yes, King.
my Lord and my Lord. Rastafari.
True. And if I can say, not to prolong that part of the subject, but let me just say quickly, not to take no long time. Even when the Honorable Empress Sharon, went through that vibes, and even when the Honorable Priest went, missing, I myself and a few other of our ambassadors, we penned a similar letter, because we shared it amongst ourselves, to the heads of government for our region. Like and Priest Kailash in St. Louis, mistaken, is with maybe one or two.
And I in Jamaica.
Our respective. Okay, exactly. Actually, that's the the letters were really pointing towards Jamaica, looking for assistance from our individual leaders to push the case to the head of Jamaica. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Now let's just suppose maybe most of us, more of us did something like that. Not just ambassadors, but anybody can write a letter. You could imagine it would at least made an impact then. Let's say them people get 100 letters. Somebody would have said, hey, let me call home and see what's going on in Jamaica, brother, because enough letters I see coming on my desk here. So as I said, there's diplomacy, strategy, all of these different little things we have to keep in mind in this battlefield that we are right now. But I'll leave it at that. Bless it.
My Lord. Yes, I give thanks.
True song, my Lord. True song.
Yes, I. Have 1,000,001 question, I don't want to go off topic still, but because I know, it's really, the launch of the webinar, and also
GoFundMe.
The GoFundMe and fundraising for the healthcare. All right. I want to ask the item this now. See it? It might sound a little bit personal, but please, it's not. We just want to get somewhere and get a overstanding. In the item living facility right now, Priest Lamont, Priest Dougie, and Priest Isaac. See it? Do the item have running water in the item bathroom and kitchen? Why you laugh, my lad?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
No, but something like that. Well, I just started now, so I'm give up. Yeah.
Yes, Honorable Prof. Yes, my lord. We will feed into your bait, my lord. Yes, we all have running water, my lord. Continue.
Majesty. All right. Now, when I look at the camp, Zane, I remember the last time I was there, but I've seen a recent picture, and is a recent picture bring this question to my heavens now. Because if we live in our household where we have running water in our kitchen and in our bathroom, why is it not the same at the camp? Why we don't have the same facility?
No, we didn't answer. Oh, we didn't answer. No, we thought it was a rhetorical question, my lord. That's why we didn't answer. Sorry. Just being facetious. My lord, it is obvious that neglect is the reality, you know, my lord. Neglect. When I say neglect now, it might sound harsh, just like how the question sound harsh, you know. But it is reality. You see, through the father child. And I several times made different moves to do other things that the father left I doing, because we can blame all kind of blame and we can put fingers anywhere and everywhere. We know it go. When the head of a tradition succumbs to the inevitable, a lot of time, you know, it takes the followers or the congregation or the crew or the team a moment to, you know, regain their composure. Yeah, it kind of take a little longer than a moment, you know, but that is the reality of why the infrastructure is how it is. You know, years of not repairing and maintaining and not adding to what was there, because that is the problem. The master gone on a journey, you know, and him left you know, him left one with one talent. Him left another one with 5. Him left another one with 10. But I got buried, you know, right, my lord, and say we have preserved it. We don't manifest it, you know. We don't increase it. Is what I'm saying. So we have not added to the development that the father left. So it is in disrepute right now and in disrepair and all of that. So that is the reason. We have water in the camp though. We don't want people to think that we priesthood. There's water in our kitchen where I prepare the elder care food. We have water there, you know, and all the needed
yes, Bobo.
We have everything that we need here. We have a flush bathroom, we have urinal, you know, development. We don't want it to sound like there's not development there. It is the maintenance that has been the problem, because water is now in the camp. What we need to do is to extend it to every home, run decent piping to every home, you know, which is what is needed and which is what will be done as this redevelopment project goes on. You know, someone's, you know, one-on-one who live there who are adults, they can help themselves too and run their own, you know, convenient pipe to their own place. But for the elders who are unable to help themselves, it falls on I to do that, and that is one of the role of the elder care program, to facilitate the necessities for our elders.
My lord. All right. Hear what I say now, honorable priest. Finance is important, right? And I notice from I forward in this thread as Rastafari, there is a saying, is like, you know, through Rastaman in the bush I live. Zane it's just a bush living, and we don't want no money, and we don't want no modern facilities. Zane. So all we are living at the bush, we're isolated from society, Zane, and we just live because at the bush we there. Now the headquarters or the foundation is a place where international people come there, and also local, national people, schools and different people of walks of life that come to the foundation. Now, I'm saying, since we're raising, we want money, Zin, to do these things, and we're coming out of the stereotypical thinking of that, boy, we don't need money, and we just live the way we are live because true we are Rasta, or we are Bobo then. But we have to get up to speed with how the world are run. You know, because as I said, people take plane and come to the Congress, you know. It's not ship them take plane and spend money for come there. People from all over. Now we have to have proper facilities there, looking properly. When a man posts something on the social space, me should not say to myself, say, boy, John, that not look right, you know. Not because I live in England, because Jamaica, I'm born, me used to fire out a door, tile it out a door, all of them things that I grew up in, you know. Zin, until things change, where me have bathroom inside, kitchen inside, and all of that. See? Now, when I say we have to change, we thinking pan how we look pan certain things. Zin, because we have to have proper facility in the place. The place nothing look run down. When a man posts a picture pan the social space, and I say, but well, I say it go, man, because true we are Rasta. No, man, that no look good. Because me now go take a picture in my kitchen and it full of plate and it look dirty and no, me now go post that. Zin. So when me see certain things and it disturbing to eye, it a show me say, boy, we have to do better than this. I mean, I point no finger, you know. Me just say, pan a general is when it good is I and I make it good, and when it's bad, it I and I make it bad. So we have to make it good. Zin, we are asked for 25,000 US. I think we should be asking for more like 100,000 US. Zin, or 150,000 US too.
We're creeping. No, we're not run. We're not. It's a strategy behind all of this, my lord.
My lord, let me just over where the eye say now. Let me just seal up. See, because it's not just a gate. It's not just a wall needed. It's not just health care needed, my lord. Is a overall overhaul of the foundation that is needed, and it's going to take money to do that. Now, I'm not someone who is advocating for Jamaica. No, the I them must hear I most time if the I them listen I. Zin, me not advocate for Jamaica, no time at all. No time at all. Africa me I talk about. Zin? But we are going to get this still. But we are dealing with the foundation, so me I go just leave it right there. So the whole thing need overall, my lord. The whole thing need overhauling.
Honorable
Majesty.
You touched two very salient points. Now, you say something that is very imprinted in my faculty of thinking too. And I want to tell you why basically the foundation is like as it is. When I was a young Bobo Ashanti, and you come to the yard, although we did not have fancy concrete structure and so forth, we had a pit toilet and we had, and so forth. But the place was so well kept. The buildings, though they are of wood, they were repaired constantly. They are painted constantly, and the place was very presentable, even to a king. When because it was humble, but organized and kept. One of the things that caused great monumental structure that can withstand the time, we were thinking of going to Africa. That's our main aim and objective. And those days we thought it was going to happen next week. Every day it was like redemption would come. And so once you are not thinking about certain kind of structure. And then again, we started out very humbly. You see what I'm saying? So we were living according to the naturality. You know, we look at the tree, we get our own posts, and we get the raft, and we go in the woods and we look straight stick to make raft, and we look solid posts and this and that. Because we were really just being here for a time. You know, they said this world is not my home, I'm going home. And we're going home every day. That was our focus of going home. Now, in that time, we were able to put up to do more because the father was there, we were rallying there, money was there, you know, and we did a lot of improvement. A lot of improvement was done. But those improvements were still within the realm of that natural humbleness that we were, adhering to or fostering them. You know, so we never did some of the things that could have been more, what I say, tangible and lasting. Buildings constantly had to be repaired because duck and see them down or, you know, board rotten down. And I remember about 25 or so years ago, I talked about a metal fence around, you know, a peripheral metal fence. And to many ones, even to myself, I was timid to say it because it sounded out of place with a thinking of reaching Africa. And whatever we are doing, we were thinking of going to Africa. And once said just that, well, if you put up the fence like that, it's like we don't want to go to Africa. So it's not that we were backward in our thinking or we did not know that these things existed. Many of us left out of our fancy homes, upstairs, downstairs, a lot of fancy livity we had, and went humbly to rally with the God of love because, it's a natural way of living, it's cultural, it's rootical, it's ital, and so forth. But like many things, we realize too that there are differences, there are changes, and time, the dynamics of time, and the unforeseeing future that we all create in our heads and our meditation, you know, at that early time, we come to realize that it's more than some of those thinking. And this is what brings us to this state now, where we have derelict buildings, especially the father's trod, you know, from out of the flesh. And so the rallying and the meddling that was there is not there so much. But in those days, the place was humble, clean, and acceptable. You could go there and you use your pit toilet and you still feel comfortable because it was kept. We have a little stint, but now we have running water, we have this, but we don't have good structure because they have not been maintained. And, and the money is not as it used to be because the world has changed. And because Rastafari is not so much in the system, we don't come by money as easily. Although you have enough rich Bobo and enough rich Rasta, I am not negating that. But it is what it is because of some of the trajectory that we hold, that we had in thinking in those days. Because if it was now, we might have built up a lot of nice concrete places. And we could have built them in those days, especially when things were cheaper. But as I said, it was our philosophy, if I may use that word, that we had. Which of course I know that now is a time that we have to make these paradigm shifts in our thought process.
Thinking.
Just to interject there, my lad, I don't want we leave out the fact that even though we had a humble setting, we were very advanced. Because let me tell you something. We had a Delco on the hill. I don't know, it's not a Delco, it's a generator. It's not even a generator, it's like a locomotive. The size of that generator could have, and the output of it could have give energy to the entire whole Bobo Hill. No, to the entire Bobo. We used to light the whole Bobo Hill. I mean, and with excess of energy, my lord. We said the power of it could light the entire Bulby. Ask anyone. See? Bulby. Yes, so we had that before people had them big generators. We had that monstrosity that looked like a locomotive engine. See? All right. Secondly, we had solar when people never know what solar was. If you said that to any average person, them time in Jamaica, them say, what? You mean the sun? Oh, you're talking about the sun? We had solar on our office. Okay? Our office had solar, my lord, from 80s. From the 80s. So one must understand that we had a radio room with a two-way radio with an antenna that at night Iman and Priest Turks and others would be in there 1, 2 o'clock listening to news from all over the world, talking to people that spoke our language, because we often got people that we couldn't understand because we didn't speak their language. But when we did buck up on people that spoke our language, we were able to communicate and ask about, and they were able to ask us about our livity same way. See? So we were that advanced in our thinking and our application at the time. We had a printing room, as I said. We printed our own propaganda, my lord. We printed our own propaganda and gave it out every week. Those pamphlets were with all our rhetoric, our church liturgy, and all of that was in it, being handed out every week. So we had reached a stage. We had our intercom at the gate. When a visitor reached the gate, our international guard was able to press a button and speak to the office and speak to the palace. And we were advanced ones. We had trucks. At one point, we had 4 different vehicles in the camp that was talking personal vehicle. So in universal vehicle that belonged to the government, to the EABIC, different from I, because I had my own personal vehicle. See, but there was at least 4 universal vehicles in the camp at that time. Okay, when the father transitioned, we had just bought him one of those large Benz. Not the little Benz, not the little nice, cutie one them where you say about the place now and thing. We're talking about something that when an ambassador sits in it, when a delegate sits in it, you feel like him in a limousine. See, leather seats, sunroof, everything, all the trimmings. But one of the big ones at that time. And that is what the father, when he transitioned, was parked in his driveway. So people don't want to think that we are set up backward people and we were backward. No. You understand? Life happened. Just like it happens for many people all over the world. Life happened and we are here now. And we are here reconstructing, moving forward, not letting anything stop I and I from moving forward, because the mission remains the same. Freedom, redemption, international repatriation, and we are demanding our rights and justice from the neo-colonial governments that hold us in bondage and in subjugation in the Western Hemisphere. That hasn't changed. And we're on the same mission, because that is what the father, King Emmanuel, left I and I to do. See, while others have the mandate of doing other things, the EABIC was left to finish the mission. See, the Gospel Bells mission that he started, which symbolizes the international repatriation move. Yes, family.
My Lord.
Majesty, powerful, you know. But prophet and priest have us make a step real soon, you know.
True, Bobo.
Yes, my Lord, prophet.
Yeah, man, we're the panic for a minute.
You know how long you're going, but yeah, I got to make a step. I know Prophet Jeff. Yeah, I don't know if it was sealing up or I'd have to leave the item. But I give thanks for that sealing word. As far as the Congress, though, you know, our priest dog, he said, I mean, to me, that's magnificent, especially if you put your mind in the time. That's the thing. When you put your mind in the time, the 80s, the 70s, even the 90s, and as I said, Honorable, I just, Rastafari has always been a kind of humble people still, especially we had some humble beginnings, but yet still, as King Emmanuel said, we're the most refined, you check it. The material work, you see, Rastafari is so balanced, If it's one thing the Emperor teaches us is that spiritual and material balance. So it don't appear as if we holding on to none of them different things. Rasta can move barefoot, Rasta can, free up himself how he want to, but yet still, King Emmanuel teach us to be refined. Anyone that know King Emmanuel know he's the best dressed. The Emperor is the best dressed. As Empress Mainsy was saying the other evening on our show, strictly Charlie Chaplin pants the man does wear. Well iron, seam shine, they can cut you with the seam. The father is clean. So even one thing we always have a clean nature. When I visited Bobo Hill the first time, although, as you said, certain things, like you said, turn on faucet water then and flush toilet, if you want to call it that, may not be something you see, but honestly, you didn't even realize that was not the situation at all. Because even if it was, as we call in Antigua, even if it was throw-up water, it was there. It was so organized that whatever was available would be available when you, even as a visitor, needed it. Never hungry, never needed water, bathe, nothing. It was just there, prepared for I and I. But again, it's we, as the Honorable Prophet said, if it's good are we, and if a bad are we. It's we, and to me, it's just we right now. Right now, it's we, the unity, the collective, supposed to band together and just rise our standard. We know what we need in this time, and we just rise our standard. That's all. I'm not going to say no more than that. I will leave it at that, my Lord.
Yes.
I do.
Yes, Honorable Priest.
Royal family.
Yes, Honorable Priest.
Thanks for the moment,
Yes, Honorable Priest Isaac. Yes, what the ayah say, you're making a move. All right, Honorable Priest Isaac, make a move. We have Honorable Priest Earl. I fill the gap.
You see how it work? Yeah, man. The Trinity is still there, man. One replace the other. So give thanks.
Yes, Honorable Priest, sir.
Yes, Honorable Priest and Priest Royal family give thanks to life, and the mighty life giver. Yeah. And
Honorable.
Love my Lord.
Yes, Majesty. Try to responsible for carrying the water. And so sometimes tradition, we kind of love change tradition, you know what I mean? So I was the man now where really, not put the water into the camp because don't want, to the politician them rest, John really, because them come cut the camp, and put a road behind the camp and run the water, because it's piece of the land, they take off of the camp. You remember that part of the camp? And Tankwell come run the water, But I used to carry water in the truck. I was one of the truck drivers carrying the water in the truck, you know what I mean? So when I open the water now, open the pipe, because, carrying the water, every morning you have to find, gas oil, and sometimes you don't really have it in the vehicle to go for the water. You see it? But the tank well was there. And along the way, 8 miles, 7 miles, coming down along the way, the people have a way that they open it. And try to see how they open the thing as, the office of the water, carrying the water in the camp. I open it. And when I open it, you see, everyone used to go up there and go wash. That means that we don't have to go to St. Thomas and where we used to go for the water. But at the moment now, I get drawn up because, as Bobo Shanti, we don't want to change. We love that hard way, some of us. We don't want to make it easy. So Jah really draw me up. Them draw me up in front of Jah. And Jah asked me the question. Jah, why is now, Jah say, can it drink? Well, true, I know, so the water that come from up at the Portland area, where them kind of spray the coffee and all of that. You understand? So I tell Jah, no, Jah, You know, really can't drink. You see it? And those were the questions that you asked me. But really and truly, John never really want none of those pipe running at his place. God, you know, Babylon want to catch all Rastaman, you know, and Jerry just want to remain as a free individual that got through. But you know, we disobedient, we run the water in the camp. So as Priest Isaac say, we take care of the place. When I want to come, them would even know say it wasn't flush toilet. You see, because we have a way now to throw the ashes and, you know what I mean, in the free house, you know. Yes, Majesty, that's my little input here.
Majesty. Yes, Honorable. Yes, my lord. My lord. We're gone 3 hours in. I don't know how much time the item have on the item and still. But I say I have a whole question still, you know. But I want to know the item availability if, you know, we can continue. My lord, my lord.
Yes, I. Yes,
Rastafari. Yes, Bobo. So, all right. So this Sunday now, which is the 21st, the webinar, and we are gonna have some reggae artists amongst the special guests that's gonna be there, right? We didn't Bobo Shanti. Zin, we always hear that, you know, we burn reggae and all these things. Why is it now important that, you know, we will look to reggae artists for your strength?
For the only reason why we incorporate the bridging them into the fullness, because the whole fullness is to serve everyone, and they are benefiting from the culture as well. That is what they are profiting from. That is how them gaining them Caesar, by marketing the culture. See? So just like everyone else, you know, them owe the village, whether they want to call it a 10 part or whatever. See, to whom much is given, much is required. True. See, so what we are doing, we are giving them a chance to redeem themselves, you know. And every man must have a second chance and a third chance. Just say, how much time you give your brother? 70 times, however much. So you might tell you, say infinity. Mm-hmm. You must just forgive. So every man deserves a chance to redeem themselves. So here is another chance for our brothers who are in the entertainment field, who embrace the livity, you know, in an upright way, to come and contribute. Use their popularity for something positive for once, and not just for hype and for, you know, self-aggrandizement, you know, because if what you do only serve yourself, it is vain. But if what you do serve others, then it will always strive again and again and again. So what you're seeking to ingrain yourself in history would have happened if you serve others.
Rastafari. Yes, I. So, the Virgin them just come and, you know, contribute, lend their, you know, their strength to worthy cause.
Yes, I. Yes, I. This is health. You know, this is health. This affects everyone. This is not about musician or politician or actor or prince or papa. This is health. You understand? When it comes to health, we have to transcend all of that to a humanistic level. Seeing? And if we act like men and people out there and single out and be restrictive, then how different is I and I from them? We embrace all our brothers, just like how Garvey said, a black man with 1 ounce of black blood is still an African. Him say, while the white man will reject you for having that 1 ounce of black blood. I and I embrace you. See, that was Garvey's philosophy. See, well, it's the same way, my lad, you know. We embrace everyone. It's up to them now to embrace the truth and the right and the justice. See? And do their part. Yeah, you choose entertainment as your career. I don't have nothing to say about that. That's your choice. See, that doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a good person. It's your works going to determine that now.
True.
So if, as an entertainer, you are doing good for people and you are speaking the good words on stage in your song, and then you are doing the good in your community, what am I to say more than good about you?
My lord.
You understand? Yeah, we don't come to condemn people because they are not clones. They don't walk and talk like I and do exactly as I do. No, that would not make I peculiar. I am a peculiar treasure, you know. Bobo Ashanti are peculiar treasures. You understand? To be cherished. You know, we are a valuable creation. See? And if we were just regular, then that we wouldn't have no value. See? So I am not looking for everyone to walk and talk like I, but I would love everyone to walk within the light of truth and right. That is how and I works. To make sure that we set the table, like the father said, place the food within the children reach. So them have the opportunity, you know, or the choice of doing right over wrong. Give thanks.
My lord. Honorable Priest Earl, Priest Lamont.
Yes, the honorable priest is very right, you know, because over the years, we see some of those elder musicians, like Jimmy Cliff and all of that, you know, speak out good about the foundation, because when they were youth, coming from country, you know, the foundation, they hear them. So, Jimmy Cliff was one of the men who speak good about the foundation, and, you know, the other, another one, but him, I don't remember, him name really in my head at the moment, you know, come visit the father's great reggae star, and the father deal them upright, you know. So as the priest said, you know, other some man works, and we just, you know, call up everyone, you know, just make him work. You know, just be glorious. Yes, my lord.
Yes, honorable. Well, I can remember, you know, the days when many of the entertainers started to come. I remember those days. Capleton was among the first set of musicians and artists that come to the Bobo camp, you know, and I think Capleton is the first entertainer that spoke to King Emmanuel. Yes. And after that, many other came, and he all embraced them and gave them sound words and let them understand that they were not to teach. They are influential people and should not to teach bad culture or Balaam culture to the world. But, you know, as him said, wood and stone will have to praise him. You know, he gave them the freedom, the free will to call his name into songs if it is upright. You know, but I think that there is much more that entertainers can do, Bobo Ashanti and other Rastafari, for Rastafari. And as I said, I was talking to Tony Rebel the other day, I said, I am not...
Very true sound, the man of black. Very true sound, priest.
Priest Lamont?
My lord.
And every priest, you gone mute. But it's a very true sound the priest is blocking, you know. They can do much more. We are not here to condemn, but to whom much is given, much is required. You know, I'll keep this. One of them can facilitate it. One of them can sponsor it. One musician, one musician. You understand? And the artists, them in general, we're not even asking them to go in their pockets. Since they are in that field, they can get a facility and put on a benefit show to benefit the elders and the elder care, and to benefit whatever mission it is that is a priority to Rastafari. But the self-interest and the self-aggrandizement takes priority over the collective interest. And that is what is a problem, and that needs re-education. We have to educate our upcoming young Rastafari of their duty. Age-protected infants care for sick, nourish, and all of that good stuff that we know, that we quote all the time when we gather. We have to embed it in them. We have to put it in a way that they embrace it, because it's a modern day. We embrace it through the biblical terminologies and all of them things. That them youth are not gravitating towards that. So we have to find a way to reach them. We have to make an effort to do that if we want to have a method of ascendancy within our livity, to preserve it just like other ethnicities and other cultures have. We need to create the same.
My lord. Yes, I. I hear the I mention the gospel bell mission, and we're still on the gospel bell mission. I was reasoning first night, and I was talking about migration and immigration. Zane, what is the meaning of those two words? Now, I was watching a video the other day, and I still see ones that are talking about when you go to Africa, just off your free will, like that is a migration scheme. And I think that is a wrong narrative, because if we understand the word migration within its entirety, then we wouldn't block that sound. Or the item say one's leaving and going to Africa outside of this mass movement of repatriation, then we are saying 7 or 9 miles or even 21 miles of Black Star Liner ship. How the item say one's going to Africa off their free will and not on that mass movement that we reiterate all the time. Or the item see that, my lad.
Please, Dougie.
Yeah, them here, right?
My lord, yes sir, we can hear that.
Yeah, them here, right?
Majesties,
Yes.
let me just apologize for the cut out a while ago.
Yes, I. What I was saying, my family, is that let's start at the word migrant. Mm-hmm. What is a migrant? Now, when we hear that word, usually I hear it when I am in the U.S. Migrants coming to the U.S. for jobs, migrant coming for this, migrant coming. It's usually a person that is not born in a certain region, or his ethnic origin is not from that region. So he's crossing a border into a foreign region to seek out opportunity. Okay? Or running from something, whichever reason. Now, when I is going home to Africa, we are going, you hear the word? Home. Home. So I don't see how that can be considered something negative or even come under migrancy. Yeah. No, again, this is where we have to do our research. As was determined by the experts, repatriation, let me express this. Repatriation has two phases or two kinds to it. You have a government-to-government approach, and you also have a person-to-person approach. See, if ones don't understand, go and do your research. And for Bobo Ashanti, look in the EABIC archives and look at the documents, how Dada explained the process of repatriation. After doing our research, because we were the same ones that did the research for the father. So I am talking as one of the person that was right there involved. See, and it was determined through the experts out there who define what repatriation is, what methods of repatriations are, that the two approach is one, government to government, meaning our nation state, which will be Jamaica, interfaces with the nation state on the continent through the AU, seeing, and negotiate a method or a process of repatriation that is amicable to both and not burdensome to any. Seeing? So that's one process. Then you have the person to person. How that go now is that I and I over here in the West befriend someone over there, meet someone in our traditions of life or in our movements of life, and we now know somebody over there, or someone that we knew that we grew up with or knew here in the West, went there and is living there, and we now have a connect where we can reach out now and say, well, I want to come home to you, but I would need somewhere to stay for a moment to get my bearings and, to find my own lodgings and so forth and so on. And they can work with you now to help you to facilitate that move. That's also a method of repatriation. So using that word migration and migrants and an African who is returning to him home is doing him an injustice and adding to the colonized method that we have been beaten down with.
My lord, because this is something that I hear is a rhetoric that push out all the time, that if ones are not waiting on ships to take them home to Africa, then is a migration scheme that they're on. And I think that is a negative word sound to black out there, and it's very discouraging to ones who.
And it goes against what Prince King Emmanuel said too, because before Dada pass, remember this, before Dada pass, see, again you're talking to someone that he spoke to. I and Honorable Priest Irel had come in from overseas, and seeing Dada, that was the last time I saw Dada healthy and strong before he transitioned. And he said to I and I that it is better to have 1 foot in Africa than 2 foot over here. So I and I must pass the word along when we return overseas to the family there, that those who can afford their fare must head home. Those that can't must work on it. And those that don't achieve it, well, will have to wait for repatriation. I mean, the mass repatriation. So the father himself had given the go signal for I and I who surrounded him to start heading home. You understand? So that was a mandate, one of the last mandates given to I and I as the international family. See? So that again, erases whatever dogma ones are pushing out there on people who is returning home. And how has that worked for us to this point? How many of I and I have laid down I and I structure in the Western Hemisphere? Who would have rather to gone home and lay down them structure there than over here? Mm-hmm. If they had gotten the chance to go, wouldn't they? Would because of that thought that people put in your mind, you're going to not go, or one is willing to buy you a ticket to go to Africa and you're not going to go because it's migration? Those are illiteracies and ignorances that I and I cannot endorse, my brethren. See, and I'm speaking for myself. Others can speak for themselves, but I personally, as an intelligent, I hope that I am an intelligent person and a rational person and a practical person. No, my lad, I can't tell nobody that. If a man can make him way home, go home. What are you waiting on? Unless you are here doing a specific work, like I and I is here as the ambassadors for repatriation and gathering the masses and trying to create the way, build the bridge between the diaspora and the continent. There are some of us that are on that work because that is the work we were left on, But those of the masses that can find their way home, why would you linger? Why would you embrace those kind of ignorant dogma, those kind of rhetoric that is self-defeating and suicidal? My lord, that is what we're working for, We're working to reach home. Mm-hmm. So whether by manna and whether by earthquake, lightning and thunder, as the priest said, whether we are going to go up on a boat, 7 mile of Starline, or whether we are going to go up on 747, whatever means, my lord, whatever part that just open up for I and I to go home, man should jump to and leg of the bucket in rust. It's a pet peeve of I and I now. It's time that I and I come out of the darkness. We are children of the light, His real light. Yeah, man, coming at the light, man, of truth, man. People, it's Africa we are dealing with. If you can sell your house and you can reach Africa, because that is the ultimate power Rastafari. I am not telling everyone to go home to Africa, who don't want to go, we don't want the man them around there. We have to keep up them violence and them homosexuality and all them little iniquity about the place. We don't want to in Africa, you can stay where there. When the paradise is around here, so. Yeah, the conscious community, conscious community need to head to the continent, go retake a continent, build back a continent in an Afrocentric way, in an ancient, a modern antique, as Raspido would have said, in a modern antique way that serves us and our people.
Rastafari. Yes, my lord. Yeah, man. Give thanks to that clarity there, because I can't understand why ones would see it as such, as a migration scheme. It's not right. It's not correct, and one should refrain from blocking them sound, because there's so much information out there now. Knowledge increase all the time, so we can't hold on to those dogmas and rhetoric anymore when we know that is not the reality, Yes,
Yes, honorable priest and prophet.
Yes,
as the priest said, Jah did give freedom to who can find him fear. You see it? Yeah? And things like that. So from the right honorable King Emmanuel, they give the freedom and say who can find him fear for come on. You see it? Yeah. So we glorify our Father who did free up such migration scheme, as the man was say. But that they don't give the word, as the priest said, just same prefer to have 1 foot, in Africa and one out here, So we give thanks to the word of the priest,
My lord. And what was the whole purpose of sending ones and ones to Africa at the time when the Congress started sending ones into the land? What was the whole purpose of that?
Establishing bases. We were establishing a connection. The father realized he was about to move, my lord. Reality set in, people can preach the religion part of it and the fable part of it when they want to preach to the world. But you don't know when I come upon them things, we're going to talk the truth to the world.
Truth, my
See? That's why the man they keep the feast of the Passover, the 10th of December there, my lord, because we have never had a feast of the Passover in the history of the Congress before. See, and everyone know what a Passover is, what it symbolizes, the story of what the Passover is. the man was declaring to his disciples that I'm an yard in my brethren. See, my work done, and I go make a move, but I go leave the item with a comforter, even the word of truth. So the item can find the way when the item ready. See, because the way I go, the item I go know, and where I go, the item I go know. And don't feel no way, the item I go do even greater work than I. See, because I go empower the item for the greater work than I. The man never say, I am greater than him, But the man will show you how powerful he is. He's gonna step out of the office, leave the office to I and give I some weapons that even powerful than what he was using when he was in the office. See, so we can finish the task. See, so that are the flex. That is the flex now, my lord. See.
So, in terms of, cause me hear that I speak about establishing the headquarters in Africa. Was that a part of
Ghana register, Ghana register is just not functional. See, it's just not functional. See, you're supposed to have the headquarters, HQ up of 10 Mile Bull Bay. That is established for the Western Hemisphere until repatriation is fulfilled. But you're supposed to also have the headquarters in Ghana, seeing that is what servicing, that is servicing the continent. You understand? Because the HQ is there, and from Ghana now we would send emissaries to wherever them need to be on the continent, build the bridges of repatriation so I can reach home. Because at different encampments, you send man to rise, One in Ethiopia, one in Ghana, one in Nigeria, and more places. That was just the beginning. You understand? I and the father. Bobo Ashanti was around the father and conversed with the father. You hear the father speak of that. Him say Ghana is the gateway. We're going to enter through there, so we're going to put our HQ there. See, because that's the gateway. But what does a gateway mean? It means an entrance into a facility or into a place. It is the gateway to Africa. That means that we're going into the entire continent, from Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to Timbuktu. And we're going to go through all of that and spread the truth. Now, we're not going for religious people, that's the other part we need to come to, We're not going into Africa to carry one new religion. We have enough religion.
My Lord.
See, and I is not a religion. Mm-hmm. We are going in there with I livity, the purity of I livity, see, and scatter that purity of love. What we sing about, the whole of the love, see, the love of Christ's way. You understand? The love of the principle and livity to the people throughout the continent, and rise different branches in those areas where we will be able to feed the spiritual needs of our family. See, so that is what the gospel mission was supposed to be, my Lord, and is supposed to be.
Rastafari.
Like it's a bringing Christ to the nation. We heard that term used before. Bringing Christ to the nation. Well, is on that level of reasoning, but not from a religious standpoint, seeing, but from a salvation standpoint, seeing, meaning enhancing a method that helps a one to save them soul alive. Seeing, that is what the Father come teach us through the order that him come teach us. How to minister to the spiritual needs of the people, teaching them how to purify themselves so they can save them soul from damnation. Give thanks. I turn it over to the other priest now.
And every priest, sir, Priest Lamont.
Yes, King.
Because I man suffered a power break. I did not hear the last set of questions because I remember I cut out from what I was talking about.
The reggae artist.
The artist who I was saying that, could have made more impression in their contribution and the use of
we went to the conversation. Yeah, well, we went to the conversation of migrants.
Well, I could have just come in still.
Right.
Yeah, pertaining to Ghana, to his dear, so also it is the gate of no return, and as the first free state, and the king of King did use the banner of the red on top, the page, the autobiography, page 236. So Ghana now, as the priest said, I just had the gateway to go in. Because, as I think you have the one of the gateways, the gate of no return. So, what happened in 1950 and 7, Warmer and Kuma, you go for Jamaica and Barbados, So, as the priest said, Ghana the gateway, so we don't give thanks, that the man they enter through. Yes, my lord.
Well, since Ja Earl bring up that, Priest Earl bring up that, I'm going to add to what he says. Yes, it was, and we need to clear up this now, and we need to publicize this within our community and among ourselves, my family. It was the gate of no return. Today, it is the gate of return. It was renamed in the Joseph Project some years ago, when it was renamed the gate of return, and that was when they opened up and was inviting I to return. That is when you had the Pan Fest and them thing there. And they were inviting their descendants that were marooned overseas to come to the gate of return and break the spell. Break that spell of the transatlantic slavery. So just want to make sure so everyone comprehend that it is now today the gate of return. So it is truly the gateway into Africa as returning residents, because that is who we are, returning citizens, who were taken away, and they renamed it to reverse the psychosis that was created from the trauma that I went through in being stolen from our mother's breast. Yeah, give thanks. Yes, Priest Lamont, the conversation had gone to migrant. I just brought up the whole dogma that is said that when a man travels from the West to Africa on his own merit, that he is a migrant or he's on a migration scheme. And I was explaining that what I know of migrant, when I'm in the US and hear them use the word migrant, is some indigenous people from somewhere else crossing the border, coming over, looking opportunity. And that means that they're leaving their home, going into a strange land, seeking something. So an African returning to Africa could never be a migrant.
Certainly not.
And I also explained that repatriation itself has two approaches. One is a government to government, and one is a person to person. The government to government would facilitate the mass movement of the people from one place to another, while the person to person would be the link up between two individuals who now work it out and facilitate the return. Yes, my lord.
Yes. And the voice of repatriation must be echoed and re-echoed. And when we talk about repatriation, we must always talk about reparation, because we are not reparated why we don't have the facilities that we have. In our Rastafari community, we as Bobo Ashanti, we don't think of getting handouts and stuff like that from government and so forth. And the reason King Emmanuel is steadfast on that is that he's saying he can't afford to go begging them for what is rightly his. He has to demand it. And reparation and reparatory justice is what I need truly to have the kind of life that we truly we deserve and that we have been used to before we were stolen away. And so we are asking for that reparation, which must include repatriation for those of us who desire to go forward to our mother and our father, you know, because I know that in the Babylon system, many people would want reparation because they are black people and of course they have suffered slavery too, but Rastafari has that consciousness of knowing that Africa was robbed, Africa was deprived, Africa was disenfranchised, Africa is victimized, and if reparation is not to the effect of repairing Africa for those injustices, then what is reparation? What good is it? If it's just for us to get some money in the Western world and we stay here and it is used in all kind of what we call institutional development, which really don't serve to advance the life of the ordinary people. And you don't really, the ordinary people who are suffering from that time and who are the main sufferers will not see any benefit from it. But if it is paid in Africa, in the Africa Bank, and we are returned home, when that, as a part of that, and money is there, when we go home, we'll be no burden to our brothers and sisters there. And through us coming forward, they'll be able to benefit too, because the amount of money that they owe us will be able to feed us and care us and help to give a better life to our brothers and our mothers and fathers there, and our children there, you know, because we have all been disenfranchised. So when you talk about migration, I would encourage Africans and black people who can afford to begin to go home, just as you can buy your ticket and go to America and Canada and England. Buy your ticket and go to Africa and start to build a life in Africa. And those who can't afford to go will wait on the repatriation. And those who do not want to go will stay. And I am sure they are already creaming off the money for those who don't want to go anywhere and spending it. So I know they'll have their money because it's been given already and it's been taken. But for us who want to go home, we want them to make sure that ours is placed in the Ethiopia bank or in some bank in Africa, and we are sent home where we can go home and eat and live and develop ourselves properly with integrity and create a nation and a kingdom and a country and a navy and an army and elate and highlight and elevate our man and woman of big affairs. You know, so don't let us worry about how we get there. The important thing is to have the mindset to go there, and when you have the wherewithal to go, then you'll do that without fear until the mass movement can be accomplished, which will come not through through lobbying.
Yes, Honorable Priest, it's the Sudan case right now. I think the white world is using the Sudan case to scare enough of our brethren from the shore, you know. Yes, or you going to speak about that, you know, what is going on in Sudan there.
Propaganda, my virgin. Propaganda is the greatest weapon. It's one of the greatest weapons invented and used against mankind. Propaganda. See? So, yes, I agree. When the way they highlight, the way NBC and ABC and CNN highlight the crisis or the problem in Sudan, yeah, them give this hopeless view of everything. See, them now give the real picture of what is going on and who is inciting it and the source of it is in it. See, because I guarantee you the source of it did not originate in Africa. See, the source of it is that those places are minerally rich. Mm-hmm. And to get those minerals for pennies, okay, you keep the people in chaos. And while the people are in chaos, you siphon off those natural resources for Europe to keep Europe in the power position that they are.
That is absolutely it. Yeah.
And it's not just now that they do those things to deter us from going. Back in the days when I was a youngster, and even when you look at some of those religious magazines that they had out there, when they show you, they used to say Biafra picnic. When you look at the children that they show you from Africa, they were all Washioka children, and they all had these big heads and big belly with two little tiny feet like a spider, and their eyes bulbing out of their heads like flies. And these children these pictures were created pictures. They were those children that they were using on their experiments, giving them all kind of vaccines. Then they video them and picture them and show them around the world that this is what's happening in Africa. They are starving. They are for a picnic. They are marasmus and all of that. And they show you all the bad. Those were scams to keep black people from being interested in Africa, while white people are there raping it. That's what I'm saying. So today it's the same thing that they are doing. And the Sudan case is just like what goes on in the Congos, where they keep the people in confusion, in war and disagreement, and they are there reaping out all the value, all the minerals.
Perfect example, my lord. Perfect example. Congo is a perfect example. And then now I was about to speak about Niger. You understand? When you go to Niger, Belgium, and see how them deal with Niger, see, it's like them condemn those regions. Somalia, another place, Somalia. You understand? Anywhere that you have the pure-blooded African that still has a sense of resistance in them, you understand? Those places are put under some rigorous economic suffering, Rasta. And that is where now I have a pet peeve with the AU, because it is about time that the continent lock its doors, forge its unity, see, and manufacture and use its own natural resources, produce products from its own natural resources and market it to the rest of the world, and stop making the rest of the world come take I&I resources and make things out of it and then market it back to I&I. Because Africa right now is one of the largest and final frontier in the world of economics and trade. Because Africa is coming up from nothing, it's building. It was held back by us being taken away and by the colonial era of robbing and raping. See? So now Africa is finally on a track of development. See? So it is in need of all facets of services. The only thing is that we need to inspire them and educate them on using eco-friendly, sustainable development methods. You know, moving away from the old societal methods, you know, of agro-farming, you know, and all of those things that destroy the ecology, seeing with their pesticides and their tree cuttings and all of these different things, and moving to a permafrost, a permaculture type of method, a permaculture type of method, using your environment, working within your environment, using all that your environment has within it for everything that you need. That means for fertilizer, for pesticide, you're using everything natural. Because all of those things exist. You know, pesticides, you can create pesticides from natural herbs and you know, natural products. See, that doesn't harm the earth and harm the creation. That is eco-friendly. So that is the type of education now we need to be re-educating our future generation to embrace, you know, if we are to save creation, you know, as we were sent here to do. That is part of establishing truth and right, you know. the truth of how you are to live, the right way to live, the truth of how you are supposed to eat, the right way to eat, So it's part of the truth. We are here to embrace all truths, because if we are to be totally liberated, from all bondage, then is the truth set you free. So we need to embrace truths in every facet of our life. Yeah.
Most natural, my lord. Yes, I. So we have 15 minutes left on the platform, my lord. So Africa is still on the agenda. Repatriation.
Yeah, but the other thing now, just want to interject this about the other thing now. If you can't go fund me, 25G, I could do even matter talk about Africa family. You see, if you can't fund the revolution, no matter if you talk about freedom, just embrace rehabilitation. But if we truly want to be liberated, we have to be willing to fund the revolution. See, we have to put our mikla and our muckle together, virgin. See, whatever we need to fight the revolution, we must fund it ourselves. Because if them giving us ammunition, we know say something wrong. It do have no gunpowder. If them giving us gun, it do have no firing pin. Okay? If them giving us bomb, it going to explode upon us. Because freedom is not free. Freedom given is not free. It's a token. It is a token. So we have to know that.
Rastafari. Yes, I. Yeah, man, it's a token, my lord, as they say, and is I faith.
And Priest, you bring me to the point again where I am saying, as you say, we have to do it. You bring me to the point now where I was saying that our entertainers that are Bobo Ashanti, maybe in the past, they're
Continue, Priest Lamont.
I don't know what I'm going with Priest Lamont now, Baba.
And the thing is, I'm just get nice, because I'm a touch on a solid thing there, sure.
Yes,
yeah, but my lad, the reality of our life we have to look at right now. We can't embrace no fantasy. We've been embracing enough fantasy for too long. We are the few that the man we can't fool all of the people all of the time. But well, that is where we reach right now. The truth is before us. See, what makes us God is because we embrace that truth fearlessly. See, regardless of the consequence. See, because the man tell you, it was the inaction of those who should have acted.
Yeah, man.
It was the silence of those who should have spoken, who allow evil to thrive.
True.
This is a time of action. Yeah, this is a time of action, my lad. That's why the Upliftment Committee come into play. That's why the Elders Council is being seated to take charge of business. That's why we are looking to push towards the Africa mission, because we know say it's time for go home. And it's either now or never. You understand? Because all other nations are poised to go into Africa and are in Africa. The Chinese are in there and overrunning it. Everybody is in there, eating from the garden, while I and I out here starving. And it's I and I garden. So it's time I and I return home, Rasta, go tend to I and I fields. And just so when we touch it, everything will flourish. The man said the first 7 years of when we return, are just going to be a 7 years of plenty. Him just go rise up everything when we touch just go. It's just for I and I for return home. That's the challenge, the greatest challenge for I and I to truly return home. When I talk, what we've been doing up to this point, we are talking to make up our mind as conscious people, the conscious family here who embrace Africa and go home and redeem Africa from the pangs that fell with under right now. From all those colonial pirates who is trying to, those grave robbers who are robbing the dead, who digging up every mummy and looting every run them out of Africa.
Well, I'll just speak about one of the artists, them, Colon did that, want to carry up, in Africa, but I assure him now, say, really and truly, I would have loved to go with that team, because, I alone for just move, I never feel strong, so we glorify we have that team, you know what I mean?
Not true, man.
To make I feel more secure, you know what I mean? So I never really want to go up now as a one priest, you know what I mean? But Colon to the half I fear. I can't talk on the year, you know what I mean? And I tell him, is a team out with me.
Wise move, my lad.
Oppression, creation, you know what I mean? So, we glorify, so the team I build, my lad, that me can, start, feel forward and trust that in my brethren them. You see what I say? Yes, my lad.
The time is now, Yeah, man, it's a good decision you make, my lad, Go with the family, go with the force of the family, This is going to be the next wave. The first wave gone in from them time. The next wave that going into Africa now is I, youths and ones that I is gathering now. Going and it's a working one weekend. We're not going in with the we need just one job of Ghana building. See, this set that coming in is the builders. We are coming to come build. Because you can't redeem our people and carry them for suffer, Because suffering is suffering, And I know that the man tell I say, when man say we're going to live good when we go home. Because we are kings and queens. So giving us that impression and that feeling and that sense of being, see, makes us look at what a king and a queen is. A king and a queen is not the one where sit down and suffer up on the sweet corn and all them things there. See?
Yes, and yes, I pray and to confident I know we deal with the government to government way that when we come in they know that we are coming in. You see it? So we're confident that I as a man working at the office over the years, you know what I mean? If you can't take it that way, government to government, not just going to we have our money. We contact it, you know what I mean? The government.
Yes, my lad, the proper way, of course, the proper way, my lad. You understand? Because, certain things that we didn't do in the West because the West don't belong to us. The politics we never deal with in the West and the certain things we never deal with. That belong to the West. And we were sojourning to go home. When we go home, we're going home the proper way, government to government. And right now, that is the problem. The unity is the problem, and I give thanks that people like Priest Lamont, priesthood, sitting at a table of unity right now, wherein which this is how our rights going to come. Because when we, Bobo Ashanti, sit with our family and harness that strength, that support, and then we face the system now and demand our justice, part of which is free waterway. Everyone forget that, And that slogan, free waterway. Just tell them have to free the waterway. We are demanding our free passage forward to the continent because we were taken away by force. We didn't come here upon our own. So the Father, as well as the Honorable Prophet Marcus Garvey, tell us that we are owed free waterway to return home as part of our restorative justice, our reparations. See, that is part of the negotiating our passage home. But as I said, you have to have the wave of builders go first, because you can't carry a mass people from one place to go suffer another place. You have to have infrastructure for the people them, so them can assimilate into the societies where them, them reach. without burdening the society that is already struggling, and without suffering more than they suffered in the West. See? So it takes conscious, planning to do this. That's why repatriation is a process, that they lay out a 4-point approach to it. And that was just a start. Is I and I supposed to come build upon that and build it out, because it was a living document. And a living document means that it is made to be developed. It is not a dead document that stopped where it was written. Where it was written was just the start. Other minds were supposed to come add to it now and build it out. But he gave us the basic 4 points on which we could build. See, these are the 4 main approaches that we need to make in trying to get where we want to. See, and if we follow those 3 or 4 basic approaches and build on them, especially adding the modern development aspect of life to it. For instance, in Africa now you have what they call the diaspora office. Throughout the continent you have offices. What does a diaspora office do? It represents diasporans, which are I and I, the African who is domiciled in the Western Hemisphere. We have representation through those diaspora offices. That was not around in the time of the 4-point agenda that Jah gave to I and I. See, so now we have to add that scope to it. And I'm just using one example. There are many more developments that happened since that time that needs to be added to it, that will show us a clearer vision on how to approach it. Yes, my lord.
My lord, Rastafari. Yes, sir.
Please, Priest Dougie, I made to say something 3 times, and the 3 times the phone went out. I don't know if I must want to say it.
Go through, my lord. Go ahead, man.
I am saying that I am calling on those rich Bobo Ashanti entertainers to at this time see something that they can put their money to that is vital and uplifting to them themselves as a Bobo Ashanti. The accomplishment of this amidst their accolade as entertainers and their fame, a humanitarian move like this would put them in a higher plane. When they are known to contribute to this kind of humanitarian development, especially within their own foundation. But one may ask why they have not done that magnitude of things already. And I was saying, as I said on another program, that maybe the basket was not set properly enough to collect the amount of benefits and help and service that is out there for us. So now the basket is set. I am hoping that they will come and put their mickle and their muckle into it to make this project be a success and can be of what we call commendation to them, and to us as a people, because this program is a program that we are calling on those of us who have expertise in building, in drafting, and all these things, to come, put their money, and come and put their mouth too. Because the foundation, all of them come to the foundation. All of them came to the foundation in the time when they were seeking, because
on the upward mobility.
Yes, in the time when they were seeking that mobility, that engine to propel them forward, it was the Bobo Ashanti livity that really was there for them. And now it is time for them to really do something. As I said, many have been contributing in ways, but there is far much more. And we know that they can do far much more. But maybe they did not see a project, although there's the tabernacle still in building, but that's a case by itself. This GoFundMe for the health center is a different metal. It's something for people that are not clapping and singing with joy. It's people that have done it all their years of time or for many decades, but now they can't manage to do that. But it does not mean that they must suffer and go away in pain and regret and wonderment, you know, of if they had trod the right road. So I want to do this now, that our elders can live their lives and transition to their ancestors in that amount of comfort and assurance that whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. Now enter into the joy of my Father. Enter into the glory and the hall of fame of doing something for your mama and your papa and your grandma and your granddaddy, and for yourself and your children and grandchildren. So come, let us do this now. Let us do this now. Come on, entertainers. You have the money out there. Come and use it to help your brothers and your sisters, that we can clap together and sing together and know that those that are shut in are feeling the joy same way, and we are spreading the joy to them and the love to them in the best way we can. The man said, cast your bread upon the waters and you will find it in many days hence. It will come right forward to you, because if you live good, and it says there's a special blessing and a special guidance from the divine when you live unto an old age. So if you are aiming to bask in that blessing of living long, come and set this health center. Come and set this elder care program, because it's your own.
Ashe. Well said, my brother. Well said. Yeah, man. See. Yeah, man. We're calling on all of the item. And here we know, we're not begging, you know. This is not a begging thing, you know. This is a duty call. You understand? Yeah, the same way you mount the stage and you know, say the Holy Emmanuel I, then give credence to it. Give honor to it.
Yes.
You know? And even
the elders must be cared for and the sick nourished.
And even Brother Ziggy Marley, who came up on the hill before one of his tours and come look the blessing of the Father back in the day, like his mother did many times before from back a while days. Because I can tell them if Mama Rita was well right now and I approach her, I guarantee you, yeah, she would have strengthened her cause, because she has always been that type of woman where when it comes to King Emmanuel, yeah, father she call Lamont. Right after Gilbert, she come right up at here. She did a little thing yes, where kind of cause a vibe, but she learned from it. Because the politician them did come with them zinc and them material come up, one give I and I. And the father ease them off and tell them, say, it's all right, we don't want nothing from them, we're good. Them time every house blow down but the father won. And we say we're good, we're all right, we build back our own place, out of our own accord, you know. And she was on her way up there when she see the truck, and I asked where them are going, and them tell her what going on. And she said, no man, come back with it. She will incite us to take the material, because them need it, because everything just blow down. But when she come back with them, they do the same thing, run them well. But she send our envelope with some dollars in it, come get the father. And the father send it back to her and say, no, I'm all right, I don't want to reggae money and him good. She sent it back with tears and pleas, you know, saying, is that from them time there, you know, in a trench town and back on long time she honored the father. And the father received it. And the father received it from her, and eventually tell the man himself, go in the storeroom, put some black supremacy in a box, put 2 buckler of roads, some hand broom, and thing and gear. And the father said the reason why I do that is for sure that, yeah, she gave something and he gave something in return. So it's not a handout thing. From this one, I learned that, you know. Sorry, my lad, just let me finish the story. And that's how I learned the reality what the Father teaches, you know. We don't take nothing from no one. We not beg no handout. See? It's a duty call. We are called upon the entertainers who profited and benefited from the culture and who continue to profit from the culture and who continue to profess themselves as Rastafari. This is for the item too. I see many musicians today up in them elder age and can't afford healthcare same way. Them have to do fundraiser for them same way. Seeing ones from Fab 5, the great Fab 5 band, I see them do fundraiser for them. And when you think of Fab 5, you think of an institution in Jamaica music. See, so yes, family, sorry, priest. I didn't mean to cut them.
You know, the always get his cleaner in the morning.
Chole, priest.
So, but it happened the day before. For them, the public in the cleaner said, Emmanuel, they take something. So, Rita Marley come now the next day, you see it? But the other reading of the cleaner the day before. Yes, you see it? You know that he accept something from them.
The priest line is so clear.
So, you know, see a fire that go on already. When she did him. So
you're breaking up badly, priest, badly here.
That one say that tell her about what it takes place.
Yes, honorable priest.
So, how do you get to see her now, priest Kevin Ogaro from Trinidad? I call some bag and stop down the road and I saw she pick him up and turn forward and to get the opportunity now, reason with you. So there I know a little more about that little part there, but never mind about the gleaner. It is printing the gleaner, that the man received.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah, man.
I'm breaking up about.
Yeah, breaking up.
You know. Yeah, man. We hear you. You understand it.
Who's Lamont? You never hear?
Not all of it.
Yeah, man. I just had a little thing with that put forward the priest. I said, the printing of the gleaner the day before, Yeah, man. Say the man they take something from them. So, yeah. I just had a little thing with that put forward with the priest.
Yes, sir.
Yes, honorable priest. You can continue, Priest Lamont.
No, I am.
Not for run,
Yes,
not
sir.
for run, leave there.
Yes, my lord, and my lord.
Next week. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we give thanks, the royal moment, and we give thanks, everyone who has donated. If you want to donate to the GoFundMe, to the healthcare project, the link is at the top of the chat room, so there them can just press the link and donate, right? So we give thanks, everyone who take the time out today for be a part of program,
and we will keep the item updated with the progress of the construction. And
time to rise, time to open up your third eye. Full time you start to realize that all this time they've been telling us one bag of lies, telling us a God in the sky that for you and I he die. Jenko Jesus or meek or mild. These things they taught us from we were a child. False indoctrinating the innocent minds. Mind control is the signs of the time. Android, cyborg, AI, all these things combined. All these things combined might sound like a rhyme, but the evidence reality is right before your eyes. Under no disguise, the age of Aquarius is the shifting of the time. Sun, moon, stars, the planet in the cosmos align. As the cosmos align, low vibration frequency decline. You strengthen your mind. Access to knowledge, information from the Almighty Creator Divine. Creator Divine. The time arise. I feel with time for rise. The time appointed, because I am anointed. The time arise. I feel with time for rise. The time appointed, because I am anointed.
That subscribe button. See you on the next video. I just start the mindset. Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video. Start the mindset.